This guy had a extra room, and it had a dirty twin bed, like with piss stains on the top of it. I kid you not. I walked in that room and I felt like I was about to survive R. Kelly. Like, I'm not even playing. It looked like a dungeon. It looked disgusting, and there was no way in hell that I was sitting my booty and laying my head on that mattress. Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Laura, and as you can tell by the title of this video, I have another crazy care.com story time. So, if you're interested in knowing about the time I babysat for a man with an open CPS case, then definitely stay tuned. All right, guys. So this care.com story time is a little crazy. Not anything too crazy, but crazy enough nonetheless. So let me just get started with this story so that you all can hear all about this madness that occurred. So I get a request on care.com for childcare. Now, if you all are familiar with care.com at all, you know that they've recently created a new app for caregivers. I'm just going to show you guys the app. And it looks like this. You just go into it. When people send you a message about childcare, it'll go to this app, and then you just press this little messages tab right there, and then it can show you. I don't want you to see who I've been writing, what they've been saying, but it'll show you their picture and all of their information, the messages and stuff right here. So it's a really, really a neat app, and it's very cool, very helpful. So I get this message from a member. We'll just call him Mike. Mike isn't his name, but that's what we'll call him. Mike reached out to me because he needed overnight childcare. Now, if you know anything about care.com, you can set up what type of needs you have, like as far as like the parent or the person needing care. You can set up whether you need somebody overnight, whether you want somebody hourly, whatever the case, you can set that all up. And I do offer overnight childcare, so that wasn't a problem for me. And I was kind of excited because the guy said he would pay me $800 a week. Now, this gig was for a 14-year-old. I knew that he was on the autistic spectrum, but he was highly functional. And I also knew that he had diabetes, but it was, from what his father said, it was very well managed. Don't really have to do anything as far as it relates to that. So, pretty easy gig, he said. So I was like, okay. I'm the type of person that really likes to go and meet people before I decide whether or not I'm going to care for them, care for their child or whatever. So I had told this guy, I was like, yeah, I definitely don't mind sitting for you. This is kind of, ideal for me because I can get off of work and then come to your house because I had to be there at 2:30 when his son got off of the bus. So I decided that I'm going to do this, but I still wanted to meet him just to get all of the facts and all of the information before I actually sat for him. So I'll go over his home. It's probably about 6 o'clock on a Wednesday night. I knew he needed care Thursday and Friday, but he didn't mention Wednesday. He just wanted me to come over on Wednesday. So I went over on Wednesday, and I got to the house, and you know how some houses have like the glass door or the screen door or whatever. His house had one of those, and I could tell that there were some like papers taped to the inside. So once you open the glass door, you could just pull them off that way. So I opened this glass door so I could knock on the door. And as I opened it, I could see that the letters were like notices to vacate, like eviction notices. So basically, he hadn't paid his rent or lease for like 3 months. So I'm thinking, dude, if he haven't paid his rent, he definitely is not gonna be paying me. Like I just feel that in my spirit deep down inside. Nonetheless, I've already, told this guy, yes, I will come over and I'll stay. So I go inside and okay. When you watch people's children or you go into their homes for anything, like I just always expect the worst, but I hope for the best. So in my mind, I already have it all set up for the house to be stinky, dirty, all of that stuff. So that if I walk in and it's stinky and dirty, I'm not like, like making faces and shocked or anything like that. So when I walked in, it wasn't like dirty, but it smelled like cat piss. Like, it just smelled like cat piss, like a litter box or something. Mm. So, I walk in and I'm okay, and the guy just seems like so different. Like, dude is weird. Um, he's talking like really, 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 really fast. I'm having a hard time, like just not keeping up with him, but just keeping up with where he's going, with what he's saying. Like he's talking and talking and talking and saying this and this and this and this and that, and it's just like. So I was like, okay, I don't need you to slow down, sir, but I need you to stay on topic. Like if we talking about this, let's talk about this. If we talking about that, let's talk about that. I don't want to talk about this, that, those, them, we's. Like I don't want to do all of that. Like it gets confusing. So he showed me the dirty ass kitchen. That's okay, because I was like, I ain't cleaning it. You ain't asked me to clean it, and I ain't cleaning it because that's just too much for me. Showed me the kitchen, and then he took and introduced me to his son. Now, as I mentioned, I did tell you that his son, he did mention to me that his son was on the autistic spectrum. He was highly functional. So, in my mind, I just kind of assumed that he had Asperger's, which is one of the higher functioning forms of autism. And I think that most of the people who have that form of autism, they just have like social disorder, not disorders, but social, um, like they miss social cues. They don't really look you in the eye, stuff like that. They still can do everything by themselves or whatever. But when I got to his home, I found out that yes, his son is autistic. He does understand mostly, but he's nonverbal. So if I ask him a question, it has to be a yes or no question because he can't communicate to me the answer if it was not yes or no. So if I said, hey, is the sky blue? He will say, blue? No, not is the sky blue. I would ask him, well, if I said that, is the sky blue? He'll say blue. Even though that's a yes or no question, he didn't always answer those right. So I asked him, do you know your name? He said, name. I said, well, what's your name? He said, name. So he just repeat the last thing that you said. But when I told him, hey, I need you to come check your blood sugar, because his dad did tell me, he knew how to do that. So I said, hey, come check your blood sugar. He came over and he did everything that needed to be done to check his blood sugar. So I assume that he understands most of everything, but he doesn't comprehend. I mean, he doesn't speak and he doesn't understand like everything. So that was, again, that was a challenge that I didn't know ahead of time. But since I had made a commitment, I said, it's no problem whatsoever. Then, his diabetes was like severe, not, just you need to take a pill once or twice a day. No, it was like when he came home, he had to check his blood sugar. And, A couple of hours after that, you have to check his blood sugar. Before he eats, you check it. Then you have to give him an insulin shot. Then you have to feed him, and then count the carbs, and then draw up some insulin, give him a shot. Then later on at night, you give him another shot. So it was a lot. And luckily, I've dealt with people with diabetes before. So that wasn't really like a huge pressing issue for me. So the things that he wanted me to do wasn't hard or difficult at all. Like it was a very easy job, and like I said, to make $800 a week doing what he was asking me to do, I wasn't doing any night. I got to his house about midnight that Wednesday because he asked me if I could stay on Wednesday, and I said yes. So that Wednesday, I got to his house around midnight. The man actually left a little bit after that because he worked out of town, like 6 hours away out of town. Crazy, right? So on that Wednesday night, I stayed over, and then the next day, which was Thursday, in the morning, the school bus came. Like he gets himself ready for school. School bus came. He left. I went to work, and then I came back. I came back just in time to get him off of the school bus. I did that, and I was in the house. Or before, sorry guys, I got a little confused. Before he came home on the school bus, I was actually on my way to his house from work. And I get a text message from his father. So I'm thinking I'm going to read these text messages to you all instead of posting them on the screen. So Thursday morning, after I got the kid on the school bus and I left, I sent him an email or a text message to let him know that, hey, everything went well this morning. I'll let you know when he gets home from school today. And he said, thank you so much. That was like 2 hours after I texted him originally. So then he texted me back maybe about 2.5 hours after that message. And it says, my ex calls CPS with false reports about me, and they would like to please talk to you to make sure he gets his insulin and everything. Please let me know after you talk to her. Now, if you've seen any of my other 911 StoryTime videos, well, it's only one. But in that video, I talk about having to deal with, somebody's personal situations, like the fight and all of that jazz. And I just really don't. Like since that, I'm very, very particular about those things. Like I just really I don't play like that just because I don't have time for it. I don't want to deal with your personal drama with the police, with your baby mama, with your baby daddy, ex-husband, ex-wife. I don't want to deal with it. So I don't do CPS like at all. And again, this isn't my first time dealing with CPS like from care. So that's why I really don't want to have to deal with it again. So I said, who would like to speak with me? I don't want to be involved with any disputes or anything like that. He said, a child protection investigator. They're trying to close the case but want to just double check that he's being cared for by asking you to confirm it on the phone. So I said, with all due respect, sir, I do not like this type of situation. I wish I would have known this before. He says, sorry, I didn't know. I thought it was closed. How is it going otherwise? And then I said to him, I think it's very unfair to put me in this type of situation. I should not have to accept calls from CPS investigators to speak on your behalf. I don't even know you. Is there anyone else that can relieve me? And I also said that I'm heading to the house now because it was around 2, just before 2:30 when the son was supposed to arrive. So an hour after that, at 3:40, which is over an hour after more than an hour after I had last responded, I said, hey, are you going to respond to my message? And then an hour after that, he responded and said, sorry, they made me do another case, but I'm done now. Don't worry, you don't have to speak for me. I've already done all that. She came over a couple of months ago. So I said, is someone else coming over? I don't want to stay here under these conditions. This is very uncomfortable for me. And then so he then proceeds to ask me to run an errand for him and just totally omits what I've just said. And like an hour later, he says, "Oh my gosh, wait, no, it's not what you think. You feel okay with everything after she calls? You'll feel okay with everything after she calls. 1 second." So I said, "I don't feel okay, and this is not right. I've never had anyone to put this type of situation on me. Not only is it not fair, it's a manipulating situation. I need you to get back with me ASAP or have someone else come here. This is not okay for me." And so an hour after that, again, it's like always an hour later, it's like, come on. I call him, no answer. But an hour after that, he says, "Okay, I'm working on it. Please don't just quit like this. It will ruin everything for us. I don't understand what the big deal is. Did she not explain anything?" I said to him, "You don't understand because you aren't the one who was blindsided. No, she did not tell me anything because she can't. I don't like this one bit. CPS is serious business, and I don't want this ruining my reputation. I'm trying to be understanding and empathetic, but I wish I would have known so that I could have made a choice before deciding to stay here." So, again, at that time, he just decided to call me. So, he did call me after that. That was about 5 something. And he told me that he had found someone else and she would be there around 8:30 that night. And here's the thing, guys. If you've never cared for anyone from care.com or anybody, period, then you may or may not know this. But me personally, I don't do other people's drama. Like, I don't even like drama, period, like at all. But like to throw that on me and say CPS is going to be calling you. And that lady did call me and she was asking me all of these questions that I couldn't answer um, because I don't know them like that. You know, I had just met him a few hours previous and he was telling them all about me and the kind of provider I am or whatever. And I just, I just wasn't comfortable with that at all. So, like I said, he sent somebody over there at 8:30, and I texted him back, and I said, "The other person arrived, and now I'm gone. I just wanted to settle your bill." And I went ahead and did the breakdown. Last night, it was this many hours times this amount of money, and then during the day, it was this many hours times this amount of money. Thanks again. And then he asked me, okay, did he get his last dose of medicine at 10 o'clock? And I told him, I said, "You told me that he gets his medicine at 10. I said, "I left at 8:30. I did show her how to do the insulin before I left. I even left her my number in case she had questions and could not reach you." And his response was, "I know that. I was just asking. Sheesh." The So I said, "Sheesh, seriously? What's with the attitude? When are you going to pay me? I sent the request to Cash App." That was Thursday night at about 11 o'clock. No response. So Friday afternoon, about 1, I messaged him again. I said, "Good afternoon. Will you please pay me? Thanks. I just don't want to have to report you to care.com for non payment and then they don't allow you to post ads. I deserve to be paid for what I worked." And he says, "Yes, I was planning on paying you. Never said that I wasn't." I said, "I hear you. Can you go ahead and pay me now, please?" And then dude tripped out. Now, I don't want to say tripped out, but anyway. He says, "Please keep your threats and accusations to yourself in the future. Sending them to me will do no good as you are now blocked from further correspondence with me on my phone, email, and through care.com. I am not sure if your stellar reputation included quitting with no notice and falsely accusing single parents of being manipulative when some moron ex used CPS to abuse them with false accusations. But just FYI, By allowing such a thing to add to the abuse, it was you that mistreated two innocent people, me and my son, all while moaning about being treated unfairly. Unprofessionalism personified, you were pathetic when it came to advocating for my child. You should consider a different line of work because you were horrible as a caregiver for my child. You will receive your money when it is appropriate to do so. That will occur between the hours of 4 and 9 this evening. So I said to him, never have I threatened you. I don't have time for that. I gave you notice, and if I didn't, there would have not been anyone there to replace me. You were very manipulative, and you were not forthcoming about the situation. You cannot get upset with me because of how you lied and tried to play me. I never mistreated you or your son. In fact, I care for your son very well, and if he was able to tell you that, I'm sure he would. The adjectives used to describe me are some that I've never heard before, and if you felt were an issue, why would you even hire me? Every child that I have cared for has been nothing but safe. Why would I advocate for you or your child when I don't know you? How can I advocate when I don't even know what is going on? Again, my problem is that I had no idea you had an open CPS case, and it was unfair for you to throw that on me, and then tell me that I had to speak with an investigator. I said I was raised by a single father, so one group of people I admire the most are single dads. So go on with that crap. Again, horrible, I am not. But what I will not do is be taken advantage of, which is what you tried to do to me. My payment would have been appropriate to receive last night after I met with the new person and left your home. I didn't expect you to block me. What a tool. I understand that you're upset, but I didn't want to deal with your personal drama anymore. So I had to leave. So, like he said, he blocked me. So I had to be smarter than him. And I sent that message to him on WhatsApp because that's something that he had asked me to download for him so he could communicate with his son. And so that's what I did. And I didn't get paid between 4 and 9 p.m. He actually paid me around midnight the next day. All that to say is you got to be careful who you care for. If someone's asking you to spend the night, make sure that there are proper accommodations for you to sleep. Like this guy had a extra room and it had a dirty twin bed like with piss stains on the top of it. I kid you not. I walked in that room and I felt like I was about to survive R. Kelly. Like, I'm not even playing. It looked like a dungeon. It looked disgusting. And there was no way in hell that I was sitting my booty and laying my head on that mattress. So I stayed in the living room. And the girl that came after me, bless her heart, she's only like 20 years old. She didn't even have a blanket or nothing. She's like, yeah, he said he had a nice room for me set up. I said, girl, come on, let's go see this room. Quit playing. Shit ain't nice. But anyway, I wanted to share with y'all that horrible experience that I just recently had on care.com. I don't know if I'm gonna do any more get any more people from there. Like I'm teetering the fence because right now I have enough clients that I could just get referrals or something, but I cannot. I can't. I think I'm about to be done with care.com. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Also, click the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I post a video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you on the next time. Bye.